Well, first of all, I thought Kansas played a great game. I thought they came in with a really good focus, and I thought they made a lot of connecting plays. Especially offensively. And when they didn't make a play offensively, I thought they did a really good job of getting second and third, shot opportunities that led to, points for them as well. I thought we have to be better. I thought, the way we hang our hat, one place defensively and rebounding, I thought in both areas, it wasn't who we've been and who we want to be. And we have to get back in the gym and we have to start working toward what we have to do to be successful in this conference.
Which obviously was a tough matchup, but just what surprised you when you look at your team and the performance today? What surprised you the most?
Well, what surprised me the most was, when we come out there, we know they're going to be, really locked in and focused. And, we need to match that same intensity with our mindset. And I thought we kind of got knocked back early. I thought they came out and they made some plays, especially at the basket with Hunter. I thought Hunter set the tone. Fifth-year senior, skilled player. I've known Hunter since he was in high school. He's a great player, great college player. And he set the tone for them. He set the tone by finishing around the basket. He set the tone by offensive rebound putbacks. And I think they were able to feed off of that. I thought on the other end, I thought we tried to get it all back fast when they started building the lead. We had guys trying to make one-on-one plays individually. And that's not who we've been. We've been a guy that we connect with each other. We play off each other. That's when we've been the most successful. So I think that helped snowball what was going on. It came from a good place. They were trying to get it back for us. But we're not an individual playmaking team. That's not who we've been. And we need to still stay true to who we've been and how we've been successful.
Coach, you guys shot 14 of 68 from the field. You mentioned that they were playing one-on-one. Do you feel like the guys were starting to press a little bit once they saw the lead getting away from them?
Exactly. They started pressing, and it's a natural reaction. And so when you try to teach guys, and we're still in the process of becoming who we can become, these guys have to understand, and I think this is a lesson learned for us, that that's not going to be the way to get it done. You're not going to start pressing, trying to make individual plays and get us back in the game. And no shot's worth 10 points or 14 points. So you might as well continue to play and make connecting plays and chip away as opposed to thinking I can do it on myself and forcing shots. Because a lot of times when you force those shots, those end up being bad shots and shots that lead them in transition. Because usually, and I tell our guys all the time, a bad shot's like a turnover. So it's going to get the team out running because of the way the ball is going to bounce. So you have to, resist those temptations, even though I know it comes from a good place and you want to win. Stop pressing offensively and continue to make connecting plays.
Coach, talk about pressing. It seemed like they were disrupting a lot of your sets, forcing you into ISO situations. What do you hope to see moving forward in terms of ball movement?
We have to be better with our ball movement, getting the ball reversed, getting the ball side to side. And they were disruptive, with some of the things they were doing, trying to take that away. And so we have to be better with our cuts. We have to play with better pace. That's something we talk about all the time. We play fast. We want to get up and down the floor in the half court. We want to move fast, cut hard. And so those things we didn't do at the level we needed to do. And they were able to really lock in because, I think they had a really good game plan. And I think we gave, some help by not moving with a purpose, not ball and body movement together. The ball was too stagnant, and our movements wasn't as sharp as we would like for them to be.
Coach, Kansas was able to get 62 of its points from inside the paint. Obviously, that's a big deal to Hunter. What do you want to see change, though, with this team going forward in the season as far as defending in the paint?
We have to take pride in how we defend, all over the floor, but especially in the paint. We have to have our guys understand we have to make it difficult for them to score around the basket. And then we can't give them second and third shot attempts. Part of that is not only was it like Hunter scoring in the paint, he had 27 on, 17 shots, but also it's second and third shot attempts they were getting on goal because all those are right around the basket. I mean, they may have kicked out and shot 1-3. I think the rest of them were right at the basket putbacks. And that's unacceptable. We have to do a much better job of understanding what we teach and making sure we execute that in the game.
Coach, what does this team need to do down low with losing 63 to 32 on rebounds and then losing on the paint 62 to 10?
We have to take it personal. We have to get better. We have to take this as a chance to grow. Now, I always say, and I tell our guys, usually a lesson learned is a tough lesson. So we have a tough lesson we learned today, what we were doing, in the paint. And now we have to respond. We have to get better from the lesson that we've just learned. And we have to get in there right away. We have to continue to get working on it. And we have to work on it with a purpose. And we have to make sure that we are chipping away and getting better at it as we move forward. It's not happening overnight. It's a process for these things. They can't just, I can't sprinkle no magic dust on them and all of a sudden they just have it. It's just going to be continuous hard work on the fundamental things we got to do to be successful. And that's what we're going to continue to do. And I know these guys, are going to continue to work at it, and I know they'll respond.
Johnny,
Coach, go ahead.
I was going to say, Johnny, 51-point loss. I mean, it's something you guys obviously didn't think you're going to face. How do you turn the page so quickly? I mean, you've been through losses during your career. How do you get your team maybe to kind of, you want them to focus on fixing things, but how do you get them maybe to put the taste of this loss out of their mouth?
Well, I mean, part of it is you still want to remember it because there's some lessons in this game that we have to learn. And so part of it is you want to remember the lessons. What do we have to do to get better? And then we have to look at fixing those things. You know, there are always things that you can point to where you have to improve based on how you play, win or loss, win or lose. And so we have to take those things and we have to start working on them diligently to make the changes necessary. And we have to keep our young people's minds, because they're young, we have to keep our young people's minds, you know, focused on what's important. And that's focus on the process, focus on improving, you know, take the lessons that we learn and then move forward with that, you know, and carry them into the next game is what we have to have these guys do. And when you change personnel as much as we have, you know, you have a bunch of new guys, you know, this is their first time experiencing something like this. And so with us in our program. So we have to help, you know, walk them through this as we go through this process. But the main thing is I believe in my guys. My guys are, you know, good enough to be competitive in our conference for sure. And we have to continue just to work at it with that belief and stay connected as a team.
Coach, is it important? You just addressed it right now, but how important is it to kind of lean on some of your veterans, guys like Darius, to extend that message to his teammates, the one that you're delivering right now about moving on here?
Hugely important. You know, we have to lean on our experienced players, our seniors, Darius, Jalen, guys that have been with me the longest. We need those guys in the locker room, making sure they're echoing exactly what I'm saying and making sure when we hit the court for practice and preparation that they're focused on those things and holding everybody accountable for doing the things that we have to do to be successful.
Coach Mustafa Chian picked up 2 early fouls in the first half and didn't see much playing time during that half. What's the kind of dilemma with him, not wanting him to get in foul trouble, keeping him in the game to keep you guys in the game?
Well, he has to, you know, he's still learning. I mean, he's a reclassed guy who's getting better. I mean, you know, he has enormous potential, but we have to continue to develop him and who he's going to be. And so he's probably, I think the last 3 games in a row, he's been in foul trouble in the first half. And that hasn't helped us because, you know, we're better with him on the court. So we need him to, you know, be disciplined defensively. He's still learning at this level how physical you can be, what you can and cannot do. He's, in game 12 or 13 of his college career? You know, should be a senior right now. So for him, I think it's more of just a learning experience every time he steps foot on the floor. Like the way he fouled the game before this one was different than how he picked up his foul in this game. So each time, though, he's learning. And he's a guy that will process it and he'll get it. It's a function of just being disciplined, keeping your hands off of people so you don't put yourself in harm's way, and you have a better chance of being successful and standing on the floor.
Coach, you talked about the importance of letting this loss be a lesson learned. I guess in what you've learned about this team and who they are so far this season, what makes you confident that they will respond the right way and they won't let some of these problems that came to life snowball?
Well, I think our leadership is going to be very important. You know, I believe in our leaders. They've done a great job thus far leading our team to where we are, and I think they will continue to do that. I think we lean on guys like Darius Johnson. We lean on guys like Jalen Sellers, like Keyshawn Hall. Those guys have been our leaders. And Deebo Coleman has been, you know, terrific too, you know, from in a different role, not as a captain, but having a voice in the locker room. So those guys, we have 4 guys that have been really good about that all season long. I don't think that changes. I think what happens is we just hold each other more accountable as we go forward, and we start to work on the fundamentals even harder to improve in the areas that we know we need to improve in.
As a follow-up to that, how do you instill that sense of accountability? Is it just from the leader setting the example, or is that something that you have to preach as well every single day?
No, it's coming from me, coming from the top, and then it sprinkles down to our captains, which sprinkles down to our players. And so the things that I'm emphasizing, the things that we're going to hold guys accountable for to make sure that we get better in those areas. And then our captains, they'll echo what I'm saying. They'll continue to preach what I'm saying as well in their own way from their voices so that we all, you know, understand that we're singing off the same sheet of music. And so they understand what our standards are. It starts there. And we're holding you accountable to our standards. And we grow from that.
All set?
All right, guys. Take care. Y'all guys have a good day.
That was a tough result out there tonight. Nothing seemed to go right offensively, defensively. What was Coach Johnny Dawkins' message to the guys afterward?
Just quick turnaround. Good thing about basketball, we ain't got to wait a week, play our next game. I think playing 48 hours, so we're going to learn from it and move on.
Deebo, do you guys feel like you need to play more physically on the rebounding game? You guys got rebounded by near 30 tonight.
Kansas, they're a good team. They was real physical on the glass. They definitely pushed us physically tonight.
It seemed like Hunter Dickinson was kind of getting whatever he wanted in the low post there, especially with the floaters in the first half. What do you guys need to do to prevent that from happening again?
Hunter Dickinson, he's a great player. So I mean, really nothing that we could do with that. Like he's a load.
Deebo, you were able to go a perfect 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. Obviously, didn't shoot a lot, but what were you seeing there on those shots?
Nothing really, just my teammates finding me and just taking advantage of the opportunity when I got it.
Deebo, obviously they were able to score 99. What do you guys want to see change defensively looking ahead to Colorado now?
Just we haven't had a chance to digest the film and look back on the game. So I would just say whatever we see from the film, we'll learn and build from that.
Come off the bench for the first time this year in this game. Is that a role you're comfortable with as far as with this rotation, and how do you feel like you and Jalen will kind of share the load offensively at that position?
I'm comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with whatever the team needs me to do.
How do you kind of flush a game like this? Obviously, it was a lopsided result. You got, like you said, you got another game here in 3 days. How do you kind of flush it and move on?
I mean, short-term memory. That's it.
Seemed like they were forcing you guys into a lot of ISO action and like cutting off your actions. What do you need to do to move the ball better, or was it just a result of the defense that they were playing?
I want to commend their defense. They played really good defense today.
You guys shot 33s. What do you guys have to do to maybe attack the basket a little bit more?
Just be more physical and just impose our will.
Kansas was able to really succeed in the paint this time around. What do you think you guys need to do to kind of improve at least your defensive paint moving forward?
Watch a lot of film.
Do you guys feel like you kept your composure once the lead started getting a little bit away from you guys?
I say I feel like they had the momentum the whole game. So I feel like for the most part we kept our composure.
Okay.
Bill, after how much you talked about effort throughout the week, how gratifying was it to see some of these rebounding numbers and all the things that went into the victory today?
Yeah. You know, sometimes we get effort's a big part of it, but mindset, energy, you know, you try hard when you're flat. It's still effort, but it's just, you know, it's no good. But our mindset was good today, so that was good to see. We caught them on a day where they didn't play near as well, but today that was a pretty turned up team that was playing in the blue today.
Coach, you spoke at length about energy and that dog mentality. Do you feel like you guys brought that today, and do you think this win will translate well moving forward?
You know what? I hope so. I actually think we played for 40 minutes when the game even kind of got away. I thought we still competed hard and tried hard defensively, so that's a good sign. And everybody we put in the game, I thought, competed hard and played athletic. But we're not the most athletic team, but when we're turned up, yeah, we are pretty athletic, and we played that way. And you know, Hunt got us off to a great start. KJ and Juan, Shaq was terrific, and then you know, Zeke didn't make shots, Diggy didn't make shots, but the tall freshman came in there and, you know, pretty much dominated in the minutes he was in there.
Coach, you guys held UCF to a season low 48, and it's a low for the school in recent years. What did you guys see defensively that allowed you to capitalize on them so well?
I don't think that it was all us. I think a lot of it they helped us a little bit in that they missed some shots that normally they make and also or make a higher percentage, and also the way we guarded them, you know, we kind of, you know, risked, you know, leaving a couple of guys with good looks, and they didn't make them. So we got lucky. But I don't think we did anything that was whatsoever that was related to UCF. I think it was what we tried to do was just play the way that we play, and it happened to fall right for us.
Coach, Shakeel Moore finished as a plus 35. And obviously his first start of the season. Was there anything you saw from him that really impressed you, especially being the defender that he is, jumping in, making his first start of the year, and then really
I thought that, you know, you start. I've been struggling on who to start, and Shaq hasn't had a chance to play at all. Large part because of injury. He had surgery, but the biggest thing is, from a physical standpoint, he mirrors Johnson. So from a strength and from a fast speed standpoint, so I thought he was the best guy to guard him, which then allows Juan to guard Jordan Ivey, which is a better matchup for him. So I thought that was, we kind of got fortunate on that. But I guys that play hard and create havoc, and you're not always going to make shots, but the other team can't score, you're not going to lose. And I think Shaq gives us the best chance to have that mentality.
Coach, last week the offensive performance against West Virginia you called horrid. Today he scored 99 points and got 37 second chance points. What clicked today for your team?
Well, we just played with energy. Missed shots were like assists today, where in the past there was no we didn't compete for the rebounds. Basically, just give them to the other team. So, I thought we rebounded great. If you look at it, they scored 9 points in the first half by us getting the rebound and going after the ball with one hand. We actually defended them better than the numbers, I thought, the first half. And then the second half, they didn't make shots, but we were pretty solid then.
Coach, you come back here after last season and pick up the win from an on-court standpoint. What would you say is the difference between the Kansas you saw last year at this arena versus the Jayhawks team that played in the arena tonight?
Last year here we had a 16-point lead in the first half. Got off to a terrible start, then we played really well, and then I thought we played with pretty low IQ to end the half, and 16 becomes 7 or whatever it was, and then you give UCF hope, and you give them the thought that they can beat us, and then the crowd gets into it, and we play hesitant, and so who knows what would have been the situation if it was a close game today, but I think that we were a better team today than we were last year, but in this particular moment. But it's just one game, and hopefully we can bottle it and everything. But hey, we're both 1-1. That's all that really matters.
What have you liked about Flory and Hunter playing together on the floor at the same time, and how do you plan on implementing that continuing through Big 12 play?
Well, we got to do it. But the biggest thing today, even with Hunt, we had rim protection. We haven't had rim protection like that all year long. I mean, we made up for some bad defensive plays by guys contesting and blocking. So I say the biggest thing I like about them right now is that defensively they can play together. Flory's good enough and quick enough; he can play out on the perimeter some, so they can play together. We got to figure some stuff out offensively, but it shouldn't be that different because KJ's limited in many ways the way people guard him offensively, and they're going to guard Flory the same way. So we should be able to figure something out.
Hey, Coach, in the back. Hunter had 21 points in the first half, while UCF had 25. What was making him so effective?
I think he played to his size. I think we did a better job of looking for him. Even the first possession of the game, it kind of just set the tone, because we were going to go to him, and I think his mindset and his attitude was a little different today than what it has been as well.
Flory with the block and the dunk on the other end. How good a play was that in your eyes?
Yeah, I watch it again. That's probably as athletic a play as anybody's made for us, so far this year. So to block it, to run it down, and then kind of do an inside-out deal and punch it, that was pretty good. And of course, he's so athletic and quick off his feet. But that was probably as good an athletic play as anybody's made.
What's the team plan with the blizzard back in Lawrence?
They tell us we can get back, leave tomorrow at 11. So we'll stay here tonight and then get back. We go from 65 today and sunny, and the breeze 3 miles per hour out of the southeast or whatever it is to go back to a balmy -10 below zero wind chill. So I wouldn't mind staying here a couple more days, but unfortunately we got a game on Wednesday.
Coach, with a difference in 62-10 in the paint, what's the biggest thing that you noticed down low from your team?
You know what? It was Hunt and offensive rebounding. I think the combination, but we got the ball in the paint off the bounce a lot, And when you're able to do that, it forces rotation, so therefore rebounding's always better. People can say our rebounding stinks, which it does. But if you don't ever force help, and you're easy to block out, when you force help, it forces rotations, and they were in a lot of rotations because we got our shoulders past guys on the perimeter, and that opened up lanes to rebound. So it was just a combination of a lot of things.
Coach, to mention that you mentioned opening up lanes on the rebound, you guys out-rebounded them by 30 still. What did you see that was adding to that to get such a big number?
I think it was just a mindset. We've challenged our guys. We've had some pretty good do better talks in the last 3 or 4 days, and I think they're probably tired of listening to them, to be honest with you.
Coach, you talked about the loss last year and how you noticed that UCF team was very athletic. You forced them into a lot of ISO situations today. Do you feel like, and forced them to use the athleticism, do you feel like you did a good job suppressing that?
I think we did a good job guarding their actions to force them to be one-on-one, and then our individual defenders did a pretty good job in those situations. Yeah, I do. Good question.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
You guys enjoy.
Thank you. Go ahead. Yeah. All the microphones? Okay. Sorry, I was just getting my beats. Just start with.
Yeah, Hunter, you got off to a really strong start at the beginning of the game. Just how are you able to do so well in the early going?
I think it just came from a lot of it came from effort. I think I looked myself in the mirror last couple games and just noticed that I wasn't playing as hard as I needed to for the team, and I was letting the team down in that sense. And I just felt like ever since warm-ups, ever since coming into the gym, came in with a different mindset. I feel like I just kind of felt like it was going to be one of those games.
And after hearing about all the struggles you guys have had on the road, how gratifying was it to have a game like this?
It was really good. I mean, we knew coming in, like, obviously we lost here last year, and we had some struggles on the road last year just in general. And this was a good start to, trying to, have a new year with, everybody, with the new team and everything like that. I think guys just really showed up and played with a lot of heart out there tonight.
Hunter, it seemed like you were getting fed a lot of easy floaters inside. What did you guys see from UCF's defense that allowed you to execute that way?
I think they were really helping on the ball screens, trying to, not let our guards get downhill, and I think that opened up, the short rolls and everything like that. But I think my teammates just did a good job of finding me in spots. They were really unselfish today and put me in positions to score.
You guys out-rebounded UCF 62 to 33. What did you guys see on the boards today?
You want? I mean, obviously, that's what we talk about. All 5 men. Sorry. All 5 men need to crash, and I think we did a pretty good job on it. I think we need to do it more. Obviously work on it, and then I feel like if we all in movement, all in motion, offensive or defensive, rebounding glass, I think that'd be great for our team.
Hunter, you were here last year. You just referenced losing to UCF on this court a year ago. Was that something that Coach Self brought up in the preparation for this game?
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't really need to bring it up too much. In the shoot-around last night, we saw confetti falling down from the top. And so, apparently somebody was expecting another upset this year. And so we carried that in, and then we also carried into them telling us that we had to go through a separate exit when we were leaving. Like they were preparing for another court storm, and I felt like guys took that to heart and really realized, how teams are looking at us, and we really needed to come out and show everybody why we were the preseason #1 team in the country.
Coach Self said against your performance against West Virginia last week, it wasn't that good of an offensive performance. What changed tonight? What did you see in UCF's defense that kind of lit the spark for you guys?
I'll take this one. I just say, stacking days in practice, we knew it wasn't nothing that West Virginia did. It was all on us. We kind of had our, minds twisted offensively, and I just, stacking days in practice and getting better as a group.
Shakeel, you made your first start of the season today, and now you're starting to get fully healthy at KU. You obviously had a great career at Mississippi State. How much does it change coming off the bench compared to making your first start of the season? And does it help you get in a rhythm faster, or how much different is it in your eyes compared to coming off the bench the first couple of games of the year?
I actually don't see a difference. I kind of been around the block. It's my 5th year, so I kind of know what to expect coming in the game or starting, and I've been at a school where I didn't start, and then I've started 34 games, so it just doesn't really matter to me. Just got to bring the energy regardless.
How would you guys compare the execution and the mindset of the first half compared to what you guys did on Tuesday against West Virginia?
To be honest, I don't even know if we played that good offensively. Like, you can look at it and we scored 99 points. You're going to be like, that's crazy. Obviously, you guys scored. But Coach said it after the game, like, we had 22 offensive rebounds, where it's like our two best three-point shooters went 2 for 10 from three. Like, we didn't play that well offensively, I don't think. Like, I think we could have played way better offensively. But it just goes to show, like, we played hungry. We played like we dropped our first game of the Big 12, and we're trying to get back into that Big 12 race. Like, I think guys just were out there playing hungry, playing hard, and that was kind of a reflection of it. We shot good. Like, I was 12 for 17. Like, I didn't miss too many shots, but like as a whole, we didn't play that great offensively. I think we just played harder and hungrier.
Flory, you picked up 6 blocks on your own day. What were you seeing down low there with UCF's offense?
Obviously, I was just trying, be on the help side too much. Help my teammates. If you got B, offensively and defensively, just be present when Hunt come out. I don't let's say if Hunt come out, I don't want it to be like a hole, and then people can come at us. I have to stay there, stay ready, and then be a presence offensively and defensively.
I saw at least like one of those blocks coming late there in the contest, even when the game was pretty much all decided at that point. What message are you guys looking to send near the end there?
I'll just say, nothing sweet, obviously. Obviously, when we are, we still have to defend ourselves, we still have to play hard, Don't let people think about it and play with us, just we have to set it on, even though the game is over,
You guys scored 62 points in the paint. What were you guys seeing down low? Where was able to get so open?
I think it just came from a mindset. Like, I think
doing their work early.
Yeah, everybody as a whole knew. Again, just going back to playing harder, playing hungrier, playing with a fire and a passion that we needed. That we felt like we were lacking the last couple games, and before the season we felt like we had the best front court in the country with me, KJ, and Flo, and we just went out there and tried to prove it today. Coach Self prides himself on getting close to the rim and making shots, whether it's a guard, a big, anything. And I think that really helped us. And kind of, I think during the West Virginia game, we were kind of relying on jump shots and three-pointers, and we didn't really get too many baskets around the paint other than Zeke. And I think as a team today, we came out there and really just tried to attack the paint and get easy baskets and kind of let that, be our foundation for offense.
Hunter, how did Shaq help right from the get-go? What did he do that helped you guys get off to a great start?
He really came in with, passion defensively. I think, that's where he's going to help us the best is being a dog defender, being somebody who can pick up 9 to 4 feet and really change the game defensively and really help Juan out because Juan's a great defender, but having another guy out there with him, and then, he's just a basketball player. He's super athletic, coming off ball screens and stuff like that adds, a bit of athleticism that can always help with us offensively as well.
Flory, can you just walk us through that play where you blocked the jump shot and then tracked it down and finished with the dunk?
Yeah, I thought when I blocked the shot, I thought the ball would go like out of bounds, But after I get down, realized I see the ball right there. So I kind of use my quickness, to get in and, push the ball. And then I think everything come up after. So it was pretty good.
All right, thanks, fellas. Thanks, guys. Watch out.